I was in great peril. I was in danger. I was on a road to destruction. But Jesus Christ reached down and he saved me. And he delivered me from my own destruction. And now I have compassion in my heart for those who was on the same road that I was on, who was on a road to destruction. They would be lost. Their soul would be lost in the dominions and the circles of hell for eternity. So now I'm committed to follow his mission, the mission of the Lord Jesus Christ, to save as many people as I can from the eternal destruction. And the thing is, Jesus makes the message very, very clear in his teachings that there is not one soul that is not important to him. And I know that in this world in which we live, which we love numbers. Humanity loves numbers. The bigger the number, the happier we are. But the truth of the matter is that Jesus is not necessarily about the numbers. He's about the one. And this is very, very, very clearly displayed to us in the teachings of the gospel. He tells us about a man who was on a journey. And along the way, he encounters a man who had been beaten, had been abused, had been thrown into a ditch and left to die. Now, on this same road, and Jesus tells us it's the road to Jericho, which we know is described as the dark and the bloody way. And the religious community had already passed by. The priest and the Levite, Jesus is very clear to single them out. And one of them did bother to go just glance down in the ditch, and he saw the one who was in danger, the one that was in peril, but he chose to just move on. And then it talks about the other one that came, but he saw it out of the corner of his eye, but he didn't even bother to cross the road to even investigate. He just went on. But this man, and this is the man that Jesus singled out as to be the example. Jesus refers to him as a certain Samaritan. No name, no description, just a man that we know that he had a beast of burden with him. But he saw the man in the ditch. Now, along that road, there were probably others who had been in that ditch. But this man didn't come along for the others, he just came along for the one. But he cared about the one. And so he goes down into the ditch, and he goes to extreme efforts to deliver that man from his danger and from his peril. That's the message of the gospel. That's the message for this great army of God that God has raised up to go forth and to deliver the message. The message. You're in peril. You're in danger. Here is your deliverance. And we share with them what Jesus did on Calvary's cross. And we lead them to safety. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.